of information, it would be ruled inadmissible in a court of law. And it would really embarrass the department.
And did you and Monell shoot your boy Pookie down on Carey Street just like Monell said you did?
Nah, no.
Bye.
Currently, most, if not all, states allow law enforcement officers to lie in interrogations. There has been a push recently to make that illegal. Some states have made it illegal for juveniles because it has resulted in false confessions and erroneous convictions. So Detective Bunk is practicing some things that we are moving away from. I used to teach because I was taught that an innocent person would not confess to a crime they didn't commit, and that's absolutely inaccurate. 1/4 to 1/3 of the people who've been exonerated by the physical sciences have falsely confessed to crimes they did not commit. And so that's why we need to move away from those approaches that you saw with Detective Bunk. This scene is from The Good Shepherd. I think this is an excellent example of the EIT program, Enhanced Interrogation Techniques, in which the CIA tortured prisoners. It was part of the CIA MK Ultra program, and Kubark Counterintelligence Manual has these practices in it. What you saw there is the manner in which the CIA was torturing prisoners to extract information that gravitated to Guantanamo and Abu Ghraib. They are illegal, immoral, ineffective, and counterproductive. And what you saw in that tape are war crimes.
So this is lysergic acid diamide. It's called LSD. We've had some very favorable results as a truth serum.
The CIA went and elicited assistance from the most prominent psychologists and psychiatrists in the world and started experimenting with different type of drugs with the thought that they could elicit intelligence from that. And each and every time the CIA has experimented in this way, it has resulted in some type of prisoner or detainee death. There's no truth serum. Sodium pentothal doesn't work. It will get people to talk. You just won't be able to understand, or there won't be any coherence to it. What happens is what's called the signal to noise ratio. Even if they told you something that was accurate and reliable, it would get mixed up and garbled with a bunch of other inaccurate and unreliable information, and it would be difficult to tell the difference. I think The Good Shepherd is an excellent movie to watch because it does accurately depict some actions of the CIA, and you can see the results that occurred. It's just not an excellent movie about obtaining reliable information. This scene is from the Watchmen TV series.
How long have you lived in Tulsa?
5 years. 6. Almost 6.
What did you have for breakfast this morning?
Cereal, I think.
If I defecate on the American flag, how would that make you feel?
Confused.
Nothing in that replicates anything close to reality, not just fiction. It was science fiction. First of all, it wasn't an interrogation. It was a barrage of information. It was bombarding with some sounds and some different lights. Actually not uncommon in some of the EIT program, where they actually played music, loud music, and had people in periods of darkness or light. The problem is that none of that elicits accurate, reliable information. It's just meant to subject the person to some type of duress. Nothing in that scene would be conducive to an interview. It's an abomination as far as an interrogation professional goes.
Are you a member of, or do you associate with members of the white supremacist organization known as the 7th Cavalry?
No.
He knows.
You sure?
Eyes dilated on all the Rorschachs. Yeah, I'm sure.
Generally, people think that liars might fidget more. There's no science whatsoever behind what's called micro-expressions, where people are trying to look and detect cues about deception. The best method of detecting deception is a known or checkable fact, and that's why you investigate, not just interrogate. The odds of somebody trying to detect deception based on visible cues is about a coin toss. The problem is that law enforcement officers think they're better at it than the general public. It's just slightly better than chance. This scene is from Basic Instinct.
Are your attorneys going to join us?
Ms. Trammell has waived her rights to an attorney.
Did I miss something?
I told him that you wouldn't want an attorney present.
Why have you waived your right to an attorney, Mr. Miller?
Why did you think I wouldn't want one?
I told him you wouldn't want to hide.
I have nothing to hide.
In the scene where Sharon Stone waives her right to an attorney is not uncommon, particularly with the higher ranks of people that I've had to interrogate, because they have a feeling of superiority. So that's what you use to your advantage. If a person has a more dominant personality, the better role is to be more submissive because you will elicit more information, and vice versa.
You like playing games, don't you?
I have a degree in psychology. It goes with the turf.
The scene from Basic Instinct has several red flags. You would never want to have weapons displayed. That could be used by a defense attorney to say there was some type of coercion with the display of weapons. If I were in charge, it would be a much smaller interview team. It would be me and a note taker. There may be a team that's supporting the interrogation, but usually on a monitor or behind a mirror, having a team of goons sitting around a semicircle of a beautiful woman is just totally unrealistic. You want to develop a rapport, and that's not a team sport.
Would you like a cigarette, Nick?
You two know each other?
No.
No.
If I was the lead investigator and there was a apparent connection between Sharon Stone and Michael Douglas, there would be a break call. We would go outside and try to get to the bottom of what this apparent relationship was. And I don't think that I would have Michael Douglas back in the interview room with me on this particular case. This next scene is from When They See Us.
Antron McCrae and Raymond Santana said they saw you rape the lady.
I never saw a lady.
What are you talking about? The lady in the park. Didn't see a lady or hit anyone.
Raymond saw you hit her!
You saw coercion there. You saw a number of different tactics to try to just convince, in this case, juveniles, that their only out is to confess. And we see the results of that today, where we're still having people who are involved in lawsuits over false confessions due to similar tactics. What you saw was incredible maximization, right? Incredible pressure. And then to relieve that pressure, they gave them a more favorable alternative to that. The person who's under that type of duress and pressure then takes that alternative as the better option. Many times they think that they'll be resolved later, but unfortunately it never works in their favor. In the clip we just saw was horrendous police work and really what the practice of policing needs to move away from. This scene is from Breaking Bad.
Jesse, you're never boring.
Not boring at all. So, come on, buddy. Share with us. Why were you tossing millions of dollars all over Albuquerque?
I promise you we can hold out just as long as you can.
As long as someone is talking, I will be learning something about them or from them. What we saw the detectives do was nothing that would produce any type of sounds from their suspect there. It appeared that they tried to keep control, and it's not control that you're looking for, it's cooperation. There was no empathy. They didn't appear genuine. I think their approach was lacking in that regard.
Look, I'm only asking for a couple minutes here. You said you wasn't talking. I'll tell you, that kid hates my guts, despises me, okay? Maybe I can get him cranked up enough that he starts yapping.
The suggestion to amp it up in there is nothing that I would recommend. It's not uncommon to work together, share suspects, have different departments conduct interrogations of the same person. What is unusual is that you would just walk away and let it happen without even observing it. Videotaping of interrogation in many states is mandatory because it captures a depiction of what happens in the room. Clearly in the scene, it's personal for Hank, and turning the tape off, it's a red flag that goes up right there. Right now, in the field of interrogation, there is a new wave coming, a wave of science-based methods to elicit accurate, reliable information for effective questioning and effective interviewing so we can move to more effective interviewing strategies to regain trust in our communities and protect the public safety and our national security.